Scott Houseman with us here in the John Mendola Show, offensive lineman, plays center for the Lackawanna College Falcons. Coach Duda and I have spoken throughout this season and said how this offensive line has matured through the year. Talk about where you think you were maybe in like the first week or so, and now where you are after 8, 9, 10 games, getting ready to close out the season.
Yeah, in the beginning of the season, we were just kind of finding to work each other out, just like kind of feel for each other. But more towards the end, we started to grow a bond after like week 5, just really coming together, everything after the ASA Brooklyn game. We kind of knew we can really do this against any opponent. So
let's talk about your size, how big you are, height and weight.
Yeah, I'm 6'4", 300 pounds, just worked out and everything, tried to get bigger and better for this season, just worked harder.
For the most part, you're going to face, if you're facing a nose tackle, a down tackle for that matter, you're probably facing some guys 325, 350, I'm sure, in this league. Talk a little bit about some of the matchups and going against the big guys.
Yeah, we had a kid against, I think, Erie this year. He was like almost 350, so he was a pretty big kid to me, we thought. Other than that, I mean, you're going to face some kids that are 290, but they're going to be some pretty strong kids because they got to hold double teams the whole time, so they'll be ready for you.
Take us down that offensive line, left tackle all the way over.
Yeah. We got Trey on the left. Trey Quan, he's just a season veteran. He's a 5th semester. Reggie Marks, the UMass commit. Reggie's he's a solid guy. He's just going to get it done for you. Me in the middle, and then Amelia right guard. Emilio came in from JMU. He clicked right with us right away. And then the true freshman Brian Durkin. He came in working really hard. We seen that he could do stuff for us. He could come in right away and start. So that was nice to have him come along.
Waiting your turn at Lackawanna, it's not easy to do. I'm sure you get a little frustrated. Sure. There's, like 8 linemen go places last year. There's only 5 spots. So talk about being patient and just saying, okay, hey, my time's coming. Let's believe. Coach Duda's telling me, do this, do that.
Yeah, for sure. Last season, Pardini told me right away, he was like, you're going to be redshirt and everything, but I got lucky enough to travel active redshirt, so I could play at any moment, but I never did. But it was nice to see, those 5 and 8 guys just going to work, really. In every game, they knew that they could win, and it was nice to see that confidence that they built, and then I took that right into this year.
What do you think the next level is looking at with a guy named Scott House? What are some things you bring?
I'll just bring hard work, dedication. I'll bring an intensity that, I don't think a lot of people can match. I'll just want to work every day. So.
You guys playing physical up front, but you have to play as a unit. So talk about the communication. Is that something that you feel like you do a pretty good job of?
Yeah, just communicating all the time in practice, always calling out the fronts and blitzes and stuff that are coming. Just knowing what this kid beside me is going to have, knowing that Reggie or Amelia, for me, we're on the same page at all times, so that's good to have.
Matt Cavallero's such a nice kid.
He is nice.
Let's talk about, though, his heart, because he gets after it. He wants to win. How does he conduct himself in the huddle?
To be honest, he's just gritty, He comes in there with a smile on his face. We know that we're confident in him. He's confident in us, so we're not really too rattled when we get in the huddle. Everyone's just cool, calm, collected, and he helps us keep that way.
Talk about your story, where you played high school football, what it was like, and how you found yourself to be a Falcon at Lackawanna College.
Yeah, in high school, we had some decent competition, but I wasn't, the teams we played and my team was not really good. So I got a random call one day from a 570 number. It was Coach Pardini. Never even heard of Lackawanna College, actually. He was just like, I really liked your film. We'd love to get you out here on a visit. And then at the time, for me, no one told me that they liked my film. I didn't really get much interest from anyone. So when I looked into junior college football a little more, I started to understand what was it about and stuff. And then Last Chance U kind of helped me with that. But when I came up and visited and everything, he was just like, you're gonna come up here and work. That's all you're gonna do. When you get up here, you're just gonna put your head down. You gotta come and work. And Wiggins and all of them from last year, they really, they sat me down too and was like, if you come up here and just trust what they're telling you, you'll be going. You'll be out of here. So I definitely listened to that coming out.
Patience. There's a lot of patience in that whole process.
For sure.
And even though you're not too far from home, you're still in the state of Pennsylvania. I'm sure there are times you missed it and hey, what am I doing here? Should I be doing this? But now when you get through a season like this, you're like, hey, I did a lot of the right things.
Yeah.
Coach Duda, how about your impression of him as a person, as a coach, as a leader?
I mean, right away when I came in, I didn't know what to expect with him, but he was kind of, you could tell that the people, like, they know what they're talking about. You knew, like, this is a guy you should listen to. You shouldn't ever not listen to him. It would just be dumb to. But Coach Duda he's done everything for us, just the little things like waking you up in the morning for class. Like, no coach is going to do that. So for me, he's a pretty big guy. He does a lot.
How about the people back home? Who's important in your life back home?
Just my immediate family. My dad, he took over for me when I was like 4 years old. My mom passed away when I was 4, so my dad just like stepped up, and just took the ball rolling. And he never backed down from any challenge or anything like that. My sister was really big in my life. She was basically my second mother, along with being my sister. So my brother too, he was the one who was the influence of sports on me right away. Just pushing me every day. My dad was just the one to like make sure I was stable and everything. Like I said, my sister, she was my mother for real. She was just keeping me down and everything.
Those emotions and that personal story that you have, how often are you able to reflect back and then talk to your dad or your sister or your brother and just say thank you?
No, I do it every weekend. They come up to see me. I know every day I'll text my dad good morning. For me, that's something that I would tell them at home, and then that's something that I just try to continue today. But when they come up and see me, I mean, that means the world. 5 hours that's not a light drive, So I always make sure they know how much I love them and how much they actually mean to me.
Scott Houseman, we appreciate your personal story. Continued success for you with the Falcons.
Thank you.